Hey, everybody, all my friends out there in YouTube land, as I get my setup straight here. Hold on, I've got to adjust this a bit because if I sit like this the entire stream, I'll be paying for it later. So apologies for the shaky cam. I'm trying headphones today so the little guy can eat in peace. Yeah, see, now I feel like that's too much, like I have to slump. What's better here? Okay. So just going to give it a few minutes here, just let people kind of come in. Mr. Matt Woods, how are you this morning? Matt, I need your address. What the hell's... Oh, charger. Matt, I need your address. Please message that to me, sir. I'm pretty sure I have it, but it'll just save me time. Wellbore, how are you? How are you? Kenneth, how are you, sir? Yeah, Wellbore. Actually, I ran out and I had to do some what do you call it? Run some errands. There you go. Earlier today, and I grabbed my my wife and I had some breakfast, and I had a double espresso. So I'm coming in a little wheels hot. I'm good for now. Very thirsty though. Yeah. By the way, fun fact. I don't know. Tell me if anybody's run into this before. Apparently, I have a package coming to me, which I don't know what it is, and I got an alert on my phone from our informed delivery. Just so we sign up for that. It's free with the post office, just so we can see what bills are coming. Just to I guess curse it before it comes in. Hey, Durs, hope your day's a little bit better, sir. And I got an alert saying, "Oh, this package is held at the post office." So okay, so I went to the post office this morning with a person who was just really glad to be there and working. This person I went behind the counter and gave her the information. She's like, "Oh, well, it's not here yet. What happens is sometimes informed delivery tells you that it's here before it's here." I don't know. That whole thing seems strange to me. So it says I got an alert that it's there, but it's not there. So she took my number down, and whenever it arrives, I guess they'll let me know. It's like, yeah, you could just deliver it. I have a door. You just knock, ring the bell, sign whatever you want to sign. You know how it is. So let's see. And today is not a nice day, at least right now here. Pouring rain. Though it stops now, of course, now that I said it. Just when I had to be out and about, it was raining. I'm going to start actually by addressing my IG picture. Even though I said it, if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, you should be. Come on, we're this late into the game. You definitely should be. But yeah, I put up a picture. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Hey, Zach, waiting. I have ice fog, so enjoy your rain. I don't even know what ice fog is. That sounds, I don't know. Ice fog. So is the fog icy or is the ice foggy? I don't know. I know you're out in Hoth, so I haven't run into that myself, at least that I'm aware of. I was going to say, yeah, so I put up a picture on IG, and I would, of course, share it here, but you can't share to a phone, as we're well aware. I've been waiting for some AOKs I've been working on to come in. And after I sent that in November, they finally, now here we are, April 1st, technically came in March 31st, but April 1st came in, and I showed off the picture, and I can't show you what they are here. The fog freezes on contact. That sounds like something out of a Stephen King movie. I can't even picture that. I don't know. Brian, how are you? Yeah, so I took a picture, and I'm not showing you what they are here because they are surprises for people. And yeah, The way that the person wrapped it, it does look like bricks of cocaine. It is not cocaine at all. Uh, Sorry, my wife and my son just stopped me when I said they're not cocaine. So they just stopped and looked like, what? Eat your breakfast, buddy. Uh, yeah. So, and I was even thinking about doing like a funny bit where maybe I'll have some flour out in the background or something saying, I swear it's not cocaine, but I don't know. I kind of felt that's a bit hacky. I might do that anyway. Just why not? Maybe it'd be good for a short. We'll see. So I guess let's get into this. First off, Evil, how are you? I didn't see a slip in here. Cocaine Bear. Nah, I have not seen it yet. I don't know if that's something we will watch. Here, hold on. This is how I know if we'll watch it. Honey, do you want to watch Cocaine Bear later?
Maybe.
Oh, she said maybe. I think that she's meant no, and she was just saying that to bust me live, but we'll see. Yeah, we have certain movies and TV shows that we'll watch together, and we have certain ones we have to watch on our own time. For example, my wife watches reruns of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's what she likes. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to sit there and watch it. If she is watching and I'm here, I'll just do something else or take a nap or both. Sit with as far as my end goes. I'll yeah. Here's the thing though, Zach. Do you know how much of that is actually based on a true story? Like 1%. Like the bear didn't go on a rampage or anything. They found the bear dead, and they were like, or was it dead or was it in a just weird state? I don't know. From what I've seen on on other kind of like true story or crypto whatever things, it's yeah, it's very very loose. Hold on. The fact that bear ate the coke, yeah, that's about it. Which, by the way, that probably is not the first time that happened. That probably like happens all the time in Miami. Yeah, he had an instant heart attack, and I can understand that. Going to be messing with my car for a few, but I will be here lurking. Yeah. No, nothing's wrong with Sabrina. That's just what she likes. That's fine. If it was weed, it would be a boring movie. Would it though? Because I feel like it would just be an episode of Yogi Bear. Yeah, he was always eating all the time. From what I've seen, the actual cocaine bear is stuffed and on display now. Yeah, I forgot where though. Um, I don't know. You know, I used to really like going to museums back before COVID, and up here, oh, Matt, you can't stay. Okay, Matt, if you didn't hear what I did, dude, you got to message me your address. I'm sending you something, not comics. I know you don't like getting comics, but something. Uh, yeah, I mean, and that's basically the plot behind all the Yogi Bear cartoons. Now, like he's gonna go and steal picnic baskets. Kentucky, maybe. Um, yeah, by us in the Morristown Museum, um, they have when you like walk in, not too far from the entrance, this gigantic grizzly bear that's stuffed, and they did a great job doing it, like very menacing and everything. And I always just remember that used to scare the crap out of me as a kid whenever I walked in there. So, you know, maybe by the time the little guy's like walking around and interested in going to those things, I'll take him and scare the crap out of him with that. There's actually also near us. I haven't been there since the bear died, but I shouldn't say near us because it's in the middle of nowhere. Space Farms. It's about, would you say, about a half hour, honey?
Yeah.
I went there as a kid, and they had what was supposed to be the largest bear in captivity. He was in a movie, I think, in the early '80s called Grizzly, which basically was supposed to be Jaws with a bear, which isn't as scary, I would think, because it's really just a crazy bear. And I don't know how big that guy was because there was a huge distance between the edge of the cage and where he was. I remember as a kid, but like I remember it was like the size of a minivan. That's what it seemed like. And he's died since, but I think they have him stuffed and on display. So I'll talk comics because That's why we're here. Maybe. First, Sean isn't watching, but big shout out and happy birthday to my LCS that I go to, Fat Moose Comics in Whippany, New Jersey. Today is their 41st anniversary. So that's a huge accomplishment, not just for comic book shops. I think any business. I'm sure you'd agree with me on that end. Um, and it started with Elon, who no longer owns Fat Moose. He lives out in Seattle now and owns his own store, Mighty Moose, which in the Factoria Mall, which I've seen a couple people from the community have visited. And if you are in that area and you go visit Mighty Moose and you see Elon, tell him Phil said hello. I don't think he'll do anything extra for you, but hey, saying hi is never a bad thing. And went through a couple other owners, and now it is in the trusted hands of Sean Hendricks, musician extraordinaire. So happy birthday to you, Fat Moose. Love you guys. I'm going to show you some of my most recent pickups from Fat Moose. I don't have any other pickups to show. What I've been doing is, if anything I get in the mail, I've been showing on our new Monday mail call video. I don't think we have anything for this Monday, not yet at least. I think something's supposed to come today. Oh, those are our water filters. Okay, those aren't comics. So we may or may not have a Monday mail call. If not, I'll find a different video to put in. And by the way, I appreciate you guys checking out. I was trying to do a short, and I guess it was too long for a short. My Joker video. They are filming, if you didn't see that yet, the Joker 2, not far from us here, just about 20 minutes. It's actually the Belleville-Newark border. Not a nice area to be in, at a old isolation hospital. Catch that video if you want. It's only like a minute and 20 seconds long. Yeah, I know I messed up the time, buddy. Just a minute and 20 seconds. A minute and 20 minutes just doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm sorry. Enjoy your rest of your breakfast. He got upset. Hey, David, how are you? The espresso's starting to wear off. So I'll show you some of the stuff I picked up, some of the stuff I read rather this week. Let's see. I'm trying to go into the order. I'll show these. Hold on. Did I show these ones last week already? I messed up my order already. Doug? I didn't see Doug. Doug's here. Doug Breton, how are you, sir? He snuck in. Doug, I'm going to message you and your brother after this if I remember. I have something for you guys. So we have to either arrange a meetup or I could mail something to you, because meetups are a little difficult as of late. And maybe I'll tell you guys about that at some point. Maybe not. So here, I read X-Force issues 35. Very gross. 36. Very cool cover. And 37. Yes, I'm behind. If you've been here before, you know that. If not, that's how it is. Just get used to it. X-Force and Wolverine, I feel like, are almost in their own little silos of the X-Men books. They're both written by Ben Percy, who's doing a great job. I have to say, if you were a fan of the X-Men in the 90s, and for whatever reason you have not dove into any of the recent X-Men titles, Wolverine and X-Force are the titles that I feel like you would be the most comfortable with. X-Force in particular has surprised me, especially as of late, because when the Krakoan age, as they've been calling it now, started, which has it really been almost 3 years at this point? They're at almost issue 36, but actually they're further than that now. I understand that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like it was sold as, X-Force typically as a very kind of action-orientated Black Ops type of group. But I would argue that it's a little bit deeper than that. There is a lot of intrigue going on. There's a little bit of espionage. I do have one complaint about this right now. In case you didn't know this, and this is no spoiler, they've been very open about that. Beast is kind of a villain. not as like an official villain or enemy per se, but he, yeah, in Krakoa, he's been doing some rather kind of devious things. It's kind of like he's not on the Quiet Council, but he's kind of running his own ship the way he can do it, which um, is very sinister. As I talked about when I did my recent kind of overview of the Wolverine comics, because he's really kind of stuck it to Wolverine. Which I have to say before I talk about the actual stories here, Josh Cassara has been doing an absolutely great job on these covers. This one isn't my favorite, but there's a little bit of Maverick goodness there for you for those '90s Wolverine fans like myself. I really love this one. This is the villain just called the Man with the Peacock Tattoo. And this is kind of the intrigue where we finally, after so many issues, learned kind of sort of his identity, which was kind of, I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but I was expecting something like a little bit bigger. I don't know. Maybe it's refreshing that it's not a existing villain, or if he is, I just don't see it yet. But yeah, I'm enjoying that book thoroughly. I feel like I may have missed a step somewhere. I don't know. I still have some X-Men books to read this week, so I don't know if I read out of order or something like that. But because it was kind of like, how can Beast do this in the next issue? They knew he was a villain, but no, they needed his help. So I feel like I missed a step somewhere. But yeah, like in that series. Okay, Blue Book #1 for Mr. Tiny Onion. I know issue 2 came out already, and I'm not hearing good things. I thought this issue was okay. Not spectacular, but okay. I do love, and I'm going to butcher his name, Michael Avon Oeming's artwork in it. I was familiar with his work before. I used to read Powers back in the day, up until they redid it like 3 or 4 times. I think that his artwork and his use of color in here are perfect for the tone of the story. It almost kind of reminded me like if you were watching, I don't want to say an old black and white movie, but maybe a black and white kind of episode of X-Files. The story itself was just okay. It started to get a little interesting, then I feel like they pulled back a little too much. I don't know that I'm going to check out the second issue or not. It was enough for at least a pickup of the first one. Let's see here. Hard pass on Blue Book. Good idea for a book, but not a good execution. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now too. Like I said, it's got me interested, but not enough to reel me in completely. I like the premise, but hopefully you figure out a way to tell it more dramatically. Blue Book, yeah. Yeah, and and I'm noticing the only reason I'm kind of like on the fence with saying if I'm going to check out the next one or not, just because I felt like Tiny Onion kind of took us on a loop with The Closet, which I'm still kind of sorting out. I might actually just do a video about that whole little mini series. So I don't know if he's going to attempt to do kind of the same thing with this one, but yeah, it was not as enjoyable as I had hoped. Maybe that's the best way and the most diplomatic way of saying it. And look, when I was a kid, more so, I was into UFO stories. Yeah, that was kind of. I see what you're saying there.
Is there something else I can help with?
No, thanks. You're good.
It's nice to be appreciated.
I agree. Okay, so we're closing the iPad. Buddy, did you ask Siri something? Oh, great. Now I said it. Okay, well, it's closed then. Hi, buddy. Trying to keep him calm while my wife gets the rest of his breakfast together. I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was huge into UFO stories. I loved X-Files. I remember seeing Fire in the Sky. I remember reading Communion back in the day. And yeah, this one didn't quite click, I guess you could say. But I don't know. Maybe he recovers. Who knows? Noctera. This is probably really old at this point. The Val special. Really enjoyed this. You know, the second part of Noctera kind of, when it started, had me a little iffy, and then it caught up towards the end. Yeah, Fire in the Sky Shop, definitely. I liked the Val special a lot more than the Blacktop Bill special that had come out a while ago. I'm still kind of like, I don't know how much mileage that Snyder can really get more with the book, but every time I say that, he reels me in just a little bit more. And yeah, I did enjoy this chapter a whole lot. Val looks a little bit different, and I'm wondering if I missed something or I'm forgetting something at the end of the second chapter. But we'll see. I think the new issues might be out already. If not, I'll let you know, of course, when I see those and go into it. Let me grab some water here. Anybody else reading Noctera? Oh, Wellbore. Noctera is good, yeah. Hi, buddy. Can you hear him as much now that I'm using the headphones today? I figured let me try that to see if, you know, it cuts back a little bit. And yeah, look, I understand, I appreciate he's a baby. This is how he communicates. And I think in general, my regulars who come in know that and understand that. Of course, I want to be respectful. It is the same? Okay. Oh, well, we tried. He's going to get his, what are you giving him? Oh, he's having his oatmeal now, so he'll be fine. Undiscovered Country, issues 22 and 23. I appreciate that, Evil. I feel bad calling you Evil. For being evil, I have to say very nice evil. Neutral evil, I guess. I don't know what you call it. This particular chapter of Undiscovered Country had kind of meandered a little bit. And it kind of, I don't know, these last couple issues feel drastically different than the rest of the series has as they go through the different zones. I don't know if this book is ending soon. It kind of feels like it does. Whoever complains about the sound of a baby has severe concerns about them. Yeah, I mean, it's the internet. That's what the internet's here for, complaining. Evil Mike, it's just Mike. Or just Mike, yeah. I was liking it, but it doesn't have the same kind of punch that it once had. So again, I don't know if they're kind of rolling the story down, because to be honest with you now, almost 24 issues in, I kind of feel like I'm invested in it enough where I want to see the end of it, but I don't know that I can last another whole 24 issues. Liking it, but not loving it. Why don't we say that? And yeah, I'm going to have to see when I think issue 24 is out already, once I read that, where they leave it. Because again, I feel like they're moving towards an ending. I really do. But I don't know. It's a slow drip. Why don't we say that? One thing that has nothing to do with the story, but I'm just going to say that this is funny. I was actually sharing this with Comics by the Bay. I remember he was talking about this title, Hell to Pay. And I don't know, it reminded me more of, if you're a Simpsons fan, if you watch the Treehouse of Horror, when Homer gets the hair transplant and it's from the convict snake and turns him evil, makes him do evil things. And I said, yes, that's the plot of Hell to Pay, right? Like, to pay rather than to pay. But that's just my brain. Don't mind me. Okay, 3 more books, both of which I really liked. This one, Art Brut, number 3. This is a nice homage to Andy Warhol, which seconds before the show started, fun fact, I didn't know my wife doesn't know who that is. Yeah, Wellbore, I read the first issue. I liked it, but I didn't love it. and I bought it strictly because of the Mike Del Mondo artwork. Um, like it was good, but not a great in there. Oh yes, I love the puns. I feel like I needed to get another job where I could just do puns all day. I am a Warhol fan. I've not been to his museum. I would like to. Love. Oh, okay. I was going to pronounce that as one word, and I figured out it's an acronym. Okay. They're going to say love. Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another shot if it's like discounted. But Art Brut, I have to say, first of all, I found out about this from, I can't remember the guy's name. Marcus does a show with him Wednesday nights after Reggie, independent comic channel. And I'll be honest, I have not read issues 1 and 2, but I do want to go back and get these now. I was purely pulled in by the cover because I'm a big pop art fan. It's kind of interesting. So from what I could gather is these villain people basically are going into paintings, famous paintings, and same. Cup, how are you, sir? Welcome, welcome. So these villains are going into these famous paintings and assassinating the subject matters. Doug, fun fact, I went to art school, Mason Gross, part of Rutgers. I don't know why they had a separate name for it at this point. Now it's all Rutgers, which not a lot of good stories about that place. But one of the cool things was that one of the teachers I actually liked was a guy by the name of Phil Lichtenstein. Look him up. He actually used to study, not Phil Lichtenstein, I'm sorry, Phil Orenstein, who actually used to study under Lichtenstein. And one of the things I really enjoyed about that is he actually took us to the city, saw some Lichtenstein art, and actually I saw some again the last time I was in Vegas about 13 years ago. But Phil Orenstein, one of my favorite teachers I had. Big, massive motifs. If you look his stuff up, Doug, I'm sure you would really like it. Yeah, you know what? I can understand it not being for everybody. I do want to go back and look at the first 2 issues. I had recommended to him after I saw this, DC Under Vertigo, just to go tell you how long ago it was, had done a series with Mike Allred and his wife called Art Ops, and that kind of reminded me a little bit of that, but just refreshingly different. And again, I like just the callbacks to the classic art styles and whatnot in here too, and the classic art pieces. For some reason, I was waiting until 11, maybe 11 your time. A Phil that studied Phil that was liked by a Phil. Yeah, and you know what? Trust me, that little fact that we share the same name did not help me in the grading department. I got a good grade in his class, but we'll have to do a whole separate show one day just on art school, because I actually quit art for about 5 or 6 years after graduating, probably longer, but we're not going to get into that today. Fanboy, I saw you come in. How are you, sir? Fanboy had a nice little show this morning. I was able to actually catch some of it live for the first time in a long time because I didn't have any grocery shopping to do this morning, which was nice. Of course I have, Doug. Yes, it's been a while, but I have seen it. The last title, 2 episodes. Call me his son, yeah. The last title, I have 2 issues. I have to say I was really pleasantly surprised by. If you're still here, or if you're listening in, buddy, I think you'd appreciate this. I read both issues of Spawn, Unwanted Violence. I used to read Spawn back in the day just as everybody else did. You know, probably I was trying to figure out the exact point I dropped off. I know it wasn't too long after issue 50, because I remember him becoming ruler of wherever. No worries, no worries. Go get that paper, as they say. I remember him beating Malboja. Buddy, mom's coming. What's wrong? Honey, is he done? Okay. I was going to say, I'll grab him if he's done. Okay. Yeah, I remember him beating Malboja, and then I think I kind of fell off about that. Yeah, and Evil, I'm going to say, Manny, how are you, sir? Manny, by the way, Manny the Hobgoblin not only has a lot of great information about Spider-Man villains, not just the goblins. He's shown off some of his artwork on YouTube on the community tab. I encourage you to check Manny out if you're not already. I think everybody is here, but just sharing the info in case. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the 200 subscriber giveaway again. So yeah, in short, I haven't cared about Spawn in easily 20 years plus. I've checked out maybe single issues here and there. I didn't jump on Spawn Universe or anything like that. I jumped into this because I heard, and if you've been here a while, you know this, one of my favorite modern artists, Mike Del Mundo, was doing this title. And I thought, Mike Del Mundo with that painterly, just fluid style and Spawn sounds like a great combination. And I was 1,000% right. First of all, just look at the cover. I mean, I know that Mike Del Mundo, he's either you love him or hate him type of guy, but that just looks awesome. The cape almost looks like flames there. And it really, like, the inside of the story itself, his art really matches the tone and the fluidity and the action just perfectly. And the story itself, I was kind of surprised by Durs, or if Matt Woods is still here, because Matt Woods, I know, gets every issue of Spawn. I have to ask you about the Freak, because I remember from when he premiered as a villain, and now he kind of looks more like a zombie. But he was actually a pretty good character in this one. I wasn't a fan of the Freak when I had actually seen him, but it's kind of an interesting. There's kind of two stories going on in one here: one of revenge and one of more of a social kind of story about police brutality in this particular area, which typically I would shy away from that kind of story. But the way it was done here was actually really, really good. Yeah, and Manny's doing some great art as well. Yeah, Del Mundo, look, if you ever want a primer on Del Mundo, what to check out, where his art is strong, where maybe you could do without it, I could talk about that for hours, Evil. I do have a whole video about what I consider to be the best panel in modern day comics, actually from an issue of Elektra. And I'd encourage you to check that out. I could always send you the link if you want that one. Trying to find some other examples, just some great art in here. Yeah, anyway, like I was saying, look at this. This is just frighteningly good. Give me an example, please. I don't remember the issue of Elektra, but just Google Elektra and heart. There's a panel that's in the shape of a heart. That was a whole spread in that run. And it, in my mind, perfectly encapsulates the character's history, at least in her own mind, and at that exact moment in time as well. And there's just a lot of just hidden goodies in that too. But look at that video I have, because I really kind of dive deep into that. Spawn himself, this one I like too. Doug, the video or the or Lichtenstein, Ornstein rather. I'll look for it. Yeah, and if you can't find it, just message me on IG later. I'll send you the link. Issue 2. First of all, I love this cover again. This is where one of the things I like about Del Mundo is he'll take a small detail and really kind of build in on it. He's changed. You see like the police tape gradually morphing into his chains, but still kind of keeping that in here. The artist and Spawn. Yeah. Like I said, again, I haven't cared about Spawn in so long. I was looking for Todd McFarlane on Twitter. This is how it was. And I don't go looking for people on Twitter. That's just my thing. I don't have that type of time. But I was going to just tweet him and say, look, if you put Mike Del Mundo on your Spawn book, or one of your Spawn books, as like a regular ongoing artist, I'm there. It's there for me. Yeah, it's Doug. It's Mike Del Mundo. If you are on Instagram, well, Doug, I know you're on Instagram and Twitter. I think his hashtag, his thing is Deadly Mike. As far as the other artists I was talking about go, it's Philip Orenstein. And you can just Google him. He pops up actually pretty quickly. But yeah, like issue 2, yeah, you could get this more kind of deliberate kind of thing from the Freak. I don't know. It's such a great ambiance and such great action. I understand I'm just kind of throwing words together at this point because I'm just like, woo. I could say the name if he puts Mirka on Spawn. What was interesting too, somebody tell me this. Is Spawn like showing a face again? The teacher's name is Phil Orenstein. Is Spawn like showing his face more regularly now? Somebody tell me that. Like, just because there's a scene here, these aren't spoilers per se. The police are shooting him. Hey, Scotty. And I just thought this was done kind of really well. It kind of looks a little bit like Luke Cage now, in my opinion. But that just might be the way Del Mundo drew him. But just so many great things here. I'm getting overwhelmed with it. Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed this a whole lot. Okay, that's everything I read this week. He did during the Batman Spawn crossover. Oh, wait, are you talking about the more recent one? I'll be honest with you. I skipped the recent Batman Spawn crossover. Reason being is because I remember the original one from 20 plus years ago. And when they announced this year that they were crossing over again, at first I was like, that's cool. And then I was like, they tried to do that twice and it wasn't good. Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, Doug, chime in because I feel like you and I may have spoken about this before. I could be wrong on that end too, but I think that was the first time I read a Frank Miller story and was kind of like, what's going on, Frank? Are you okay? This doesn't seem like you, pal. Yeah, it was ungood. And I was kind of curious to see why people were flocking to it after this most recent Spawn Batman crossover was announced. And then I forgot who wrote. They acted like the first events never happened. Batman and Spawn meeting for the first time was good, but needs more. I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably better for everybody if we all just forgot that they had met before. I'll be the only thing I remember about that was, besides being confused, was just Spawn getting the Batarang to the skull, and then for like 10 issues in his normal series after that, he had tied his head together with a shoelace. And then I remember the second part of it. I don't remember who wrote that, but it started with the lost colony of I can't remember. Krakoan, not Krakoa, like the X-Men, something with a C. Which I always like when I like kind of weird history type of things, kind of to tie back to the Cocaine Bear. And there seems to be in most recent years some reasonable explanations that they've kind of come up with. Hey, Dope. How are you, sir? Dope Comics. Roanoke. Yeah, I was close. Too many X-Men comics. That's what I blame it on, Zach. Yeah, it seems like in the past few years they've kind of found some reasonable explanations. Josh Gates, I know, just did a special or an episode on Roanoke not too long ago. But I had liked the idea of the opening, but I don't remember how the rest of the story went at all because it wasn't good. I remember it was ungood. Why don't we say that? Let me just grab some water here. Okay, 200 subscriber giveaway. First of all, I appreciate everybody who's made a video so far. Durs has one, I know off the top of my head. If you have made one or if you are making one, please remember to tag me so that I know that it's there. The second part to this contest, I had said I'm going to give you the name of a charity to donate to. And if you did make a donation to said charity, you will also get an entry. The name, here's kind of the long and the short of it. So I had one charity picked out, and that kind of fell through. Something for tax purposes, and they said, yeah, we better just kind of skip it for now. April 4th to be exact, would have been Chef Carl Ruiz's birthday. If you've been watching me a while, you know all about Ruizing. If not, go back. Neil, no, I have to look back then. I didn't see your tag. I'll go back and take a look. Thank you for letting me know, though. YouTube has been doing some very weird things lately. I've started seeing comments on videos I didn't know I had comments on. So it throws me off completely. But yeah, if you know about Ruizing, great. If not, this is, of course, the hat I've been wearing for every single video and live stream, give or take. That was kind of a major part of me deciding to start this channel. And usually do at least 2 videos a year about Ruizing. And yeah, his birthday would have been April 4th. So what we're going to do is for the month of April, and again, this is part of that giveaway, which ends in April. If you make a donation to his scholarship fund, the Carl Ruiz Foundation Scholarship Fund, that's an entry. And the best part is you don't have to screenshot or anything. Just let me know, hey, Phil, I made a donation. I'm going to take your word for it because, I mean, really. Sorry, no earthquake. I just grabbed my wire. Carl's foundation is to support young budding chefs. I do have a link. Problem being, link has had a problem with it the last 2 days. I tried to check on it. So I'm going to put the link in the community tab later on today. I reached out to his former assistant who runs the foundation and who gave me the link, and she's looking into it to see what the problem is. So look for that in the community tab and consider donating, even if you don't want to be part of the giveaway, just because it's something good to go. If you are, by the way, a fan of Chef Carl, Chef Ruiz, and if you don't know him from Opie Radio, which is where I knew him, you may know him from, he was on the Food Network on Guys Grocery Games. He was a frequent judge, and he had won some stuff there a couple times. This Tuesday, I believe, which again would have been his birthday, she's going to be auctioning off some of his hats and T-shirts that she still has for charity. You could go look that up. If I could get a website for that, I know she was doing a QR code, but if I could get a website for that, I'll put that in the community tab as well. So in short, if you make a video, if you leave that hashtag 200 on all the videos from now until the end of April, and if you make a donation to the Carl Ruiz Foundation, you will get an entry. If there is a big enough issue where for some reason we can't make donations to the foundation because of that link, I'll introduce another charity, let's say next week, that's associated with Carl as well. And we're going to have our giveaway, I think, at the end of the month. I'm trying to do something a little bit quirky. I can't do screen sharing, so a digital duck race per se is not in the cards. But I'd like to think that when we do something, I try to do something unique and hopefully something that you guys find fun. So I'm out of things to talk about. Just want to see, what are you guys chatting about here? Everybody is having YouTube issues, it sounds like. Yeah. So wait, there was an old video you got a notification about, or did he put up a video from when he was in California? Oh, some isolation stuff coming through. We're all interested in seeing that, Doug. Okay, so a digital Chad race? I wish. That would be hilarious. Chad might be popping up shortly, just for a spell. Don't know. I kind of have to need a lot of energy. I need to do that. Old video, new notification. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is broken. Let's be honest with you. You know, I've noticed not so much in comic book community YouTube pages, but in other pages I follow. Like one of the channels I follow that has nothing to do with comics that I did not name in my video, Emily D. Baker. She's a legal analyst. And whenever there's a big court case, like she did it with the Murdoch trial, she did it with the Johnny Depp trial, she just did it with the Gwyneth Paltrow trial, she'll do like a live stream. And what she tends to do is she'll say, look, in addition to what I have here, you can also listen to my legal podcast. And reason being, YouTube is, as we all know, becoming more and more restrictive or a little bit tricky sometimes with their rules. So, you know, in her case, this is how, from what I could gather, this is a big part of how she makes money. I know she's not a lawyer any further. She does consulting, from what I understand. But yeah, I guess they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. I know RGT, a video game related YouTuber, RGT85, if you're unfamiliar with, has kind of said some stuff that's similar. That sometimes YouTube is just difficult to navigate, and you know, look, this could all just go poof one day. Who knows? But with that, I think I'm going to give you guys the rest of your day back. It's about 10 to 12 here, so yeah, you could still do some stuff. Looks like the rain stops, at least for a little bit around here, and of course, my little guy's quiet now that we're done. But I want to thank you guys for checking me out today. I do appreciate it. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. Peace, love, and comics. Take care.